Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's matchup, round 16 between Oklahoma State and UTSA. My name's DJ Dextros. I'm joined by Snail on my
Hello.
co-cast.
Hello. As DJ said before, tonight we are going to be seeing the number 5 seeded UTSA against the 12 seed Oklahoma State University. And we are going to be playing Theme Park in Map 1. DJ, any predictions for tonight's match?
Well, for tonight, I think this is going to be a matchup, a really good matchup. I don't really have any preference, to be honest. I don't think we're going to see much more than a really good bout going into overtime for a good couple matches. What about you, Snail?
What happened?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, going forward, let's switch over onto the map end and see what maps we're going to have for tonight. So it looks like tonight we're going to have three wonderful maps, starting out with Theme Park, UTSA's pick, and they're going to start on the attack. On the defense, on the second map, we're going to have Oklahoma State having the attack first on Villa, UTSA getting to defend there. And for the decider, we will have Clubhouse. Three wonderful maps to look ahead for. Don't you agree, Snail?
Yeah, it's going to be a good show tonight, especially interested to see that UTSA comes out picking Theme Park. You know, it's a very new map. Not a lot of teams are really necessarily shooting to play Theme Park every week. I know with the regular season, how they had the two auto banned maps. Theme Park was never auto banned, and even with the maps being auto banned, Theme Park still did not see much play overall this season. Very interesting to see that UTSA being able to pick any of the 5 maps, has selected Theme Park over all the other maps remaining in the pool. And that should make for a very interesting show, especially with strats and just how you're going to see the early stages of teams playing Theme Park.
Indeed. With that, let's see if the players are all set up. I believe our reservist has said that they're ready. So let's go ahead and dive on into. Not ready. Sorry, my bad. I misheard things. So with that, let's just go ahead and take a short. Let's go ahead and just talk about these maps, Mr. Snail. First, we have Theme Park, something that is commonly hated by some, not hated, but like disliked by the player base as a whole. So, what do you think, Snail? You're a very good player as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, Theme Park, I wouldn't say it's hated necessarily. It's a map that's it requires a different style of play because of the way it's been reworked on a lot of maps. Clubhouse, Consulate, Cafe, most of those sites are very towards the exteriors, you could say, of the building. Whereas with Theme Park, these sites are more tucked. There's not as many window access points to the actual site. There's no like hard wall that you're really just opening up, and you're kind of like you're outside, so you're more safe. In a lot of the maps that are currently playing in the pool, you're relatively safe when hard breaching a wall. In Theme Park, you really have to enter into the building to get any of the sites open, any of the walls. There's danger all around. because nobody plays the one exterior site on Theme Park Drug Lab, and that is the most exterior site in my opinion. So the inability for teams to be able to just put their hard breacher on an outside wall and protect them fully is pretty hard. Plus, generally when attacking, it seems that the most effective attacks are split pushes, because if you try to take a straight linear fight with only peaking angles from east to west for say, it's a lot harder to take out the defense, especially with the bands that are normally on the board like Thatcher. Never being able to play him really can make it difficult, and most of the floors are C4able in most cases, so it makes it pretty scary and difficult to get those walls easily.
Yeah, it's just overall very difficult, especially against that throne room thing right now. So, with that in mind, I think we are going to see a wonderful matchup on that. Players are getting more comfortable with this as they go further and further along, having Theme Park in the rotate. I'm especially excited to see Villa as map 2 because everyone knows that's my favorite matchup, right? My favorite map to see in this comp pool. So with Villa being played, I'd love to see how teams adapt to that, because it can be very defender sided, but if you readjust for it and put a new mentality on it, practice it a lot, like we see teams like UGA. I mention them all the time because they came out with a wonderful library defense. That's the black sheep of the sites on Villa, and that just tore apart the attacking team. So it's all about utilizing different strategies rather than just going with the same old, and our teams are very well set in turning things around.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, as both these maps that are being played, the 1-2, Villa starting to make its way more into the general picked range because of the fact that they removed border and bank, which some teams had a lot of comfort playing those maps. They were getting stale, and that is why they got removed. So I'm guessing the same thing will happen to Consulate soon. And I have lost, or nope, I am fine. Don't worry. So, and I'm echoing. DJ, take over.
Yeah, and looking at the last map that we have Clubhouse. Clubhouse being a little bit of a different hand to hold because we have Maverick, who changes the whole attacker ban premise. A lot of times nowadays the meta is that you'll see Thatcher banning people or being banned out. But with Maverick on the board, it really becomes a question of who do you want to ban on the attack? Do you want to ban the Thatcher? Do you want to ban the Maverick? Do you want to ban some sort of target ban like a Ying if they're running a strong Ying or Lion or Dokubi? Things like that can affect how the operator bans are going to be played out. But with everything in mind, Clubhouse will be a strong match to finish on if we even get there. I'm hoping we see a 3-0 matchup for this first set here tonight. But, with all that said, I think all we can do is wait for the players to ready up. Let's go ahead and send to a break. The players are getting sorted out, but it's taking a little bit longer, so I do apologize. But we will be right back shortly for the matchup from UTSA versus Oklahoma State.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the
Green makes me sets up the cogs and the yourself this way. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Okay. Tab back into the monitor where I can see parts. Whatever you were setting up with like my music and OBS. Now pull OBS up on that monitor. The one you have Discord pulled up on in the background where it's big and behind and I see Parsec. Pull up OBS on that monitor and stay tabbed into that monitor. Yes.
no point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own.
I can't see anything right now because it's
No
nothing.
point in blaming you, you did not know.
I think all that happened is that Parsec will capture anything that's on that monitor. So everything else except for this window projector, you need to have on your other monitor. Or minimized or closed. Yes, I can see the ticker. Now, instead of the ticker, I want you to close this. Close this window projector for the ticker. And I want to only open the in-game browser source window projection. That's the only thing that us as casters need to see. You can talk us through the other transitions. We don't need to see this because then that runs the risk of us hearing the music or hearing ourselves or anything like that. Now, everything else, including Discord, should be on a different monitor. And I believe that should solve it. Or I think, if I understand how Parsec works correctly, that will solve it. Because Parsec will capture whatever's on the monitor. Now, as far as your audio sources for OBS, do you have them set on monitor and output or not? Because I don't think you should have those on for that. If you need to adjust audio, then watch. Well, hold on, let me back up real quick. Okay, different question. You don't have it where it's picking up us from Discord at all. You don't have an audio source for that at all, correct? Or like you have it like you have it set where there's no chance we're going to be picked up. You have either the source itself muted or you have it disabled for the setup or something where there's no chance of it actually.
you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah, take you like a pill. Fill you like a pill to get my fill. No, do me in the worst way. Don't let me sleep, never say sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave, baby, but you know I never will. No.
All right,
Welcome
everybody.
back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this matchup between UTSA and OK State. We're going to have a wonderful matchup here tonight. As we start out on Theme Park, Thatcher being banned right off the board, Snail. Can you believe it? The meta still stands
Yeah.
strong.
I'm hearing myself through.
Yeah, so with that, that's going to be the first attacker off the board. Who is UTSA going to bring off the board? They're going to bring Montaigne off the board. So that's Thatcher and Montaigne off the board. Maverick still being a strong potential bout for them to use to try to push on in on that attacking side.
Hello.
And now Echo is taken off the board as well. And who are we going to see taken off on the defense? Defense could be Mira. Defense could be anything and mine. And we are going to see the Mira taken off the board. So with that, that's everything set for the operator bands.
Yeah, Mira, a very effective operator on Theme Park. There are a lot of strats that can be used with Mira. Just makes her a really, really just powerful pick for the defensive side. So neither team wants to play against that. And as we see, the first site they're going to be going to is Bunkin Daycare. Kind of interesting pick from Oklahoma State to go there, as I would say that is a second or third site that most teams go, as obviously Throne Room in the current state of the game is probably the most powerful because of the fact that Ace is not available yet. But with this heavy hard breach setup that UTSA is bringing, Bunk Daycare might actually be pretty helpful for the defense, as we're going to see the Pulse 6 pick to the Valkyrie. So that would probably almost bait UTSA into thinking that they were going Throne, as Pulse very, he knows if you're above him or not and gets those nice C4s.
Indeed. And with that, we're going to go ahead and start off over on the Daycare side, not the Throne Room side that you typically see if this were more like a ranked match. We're going to see them setting up for a nice rotate sort of strategy, a little bit more open so that they can try to have some good roam game throughout the second floor.
Yeah, it can be very interesting. You see the rotates coming in, going into initiation, leaving that wall slightly open, getting more play against it from the hatch drop in maintenance, really making it a little bit more difficult for the defense to get in, trying to, force the attackers to go through either cafe or cash room if they want safe entrance into the building, as you do have to actually enter into the building to gain access to the site.
Indeed. Now they're moving forward, and they're just trying to find out what they can, testing the waters here against this OK defense and seeing what they can find. The double hard breachers, no Maverick, I find quite surprisingly, especially if they think that, especially if the thought is that you're going to see Throne Room first, being it that it's very easy to hold with just a couple of operators, Bandit, Kaid, Mute. With those, they can lock it down, add in a few C4s there for good measure, and Throne Room is basically a free round for the defenders if the attackers don't counter it correctly.
Yeah, we're going to see the attackers going to have to enter in through cash room, try to take control of the vault and office side, and then probably going to have to make their way over to maintenance. going into maintenance is pretty dangerous if you don't have control of office, as a player can basically sit in waiting room or an initiation with a lot less contention than you would like as an attacker. As we're going to see, Ton, the star player for UTSA, going to be on the Ash, entering into what looks to be going to the bathroom, and he is the entry fragger for UTSA, so he's probably going to get a frag onto the board first. He gets one as Thermite is going to get lit up by the Jaeger, and Jaeger will kill the Thermite, and down goes Slash for Oklahoma State, and Easy Money and Havoc both with refrags. Down to a 3v2 now. A lot of frags coming out as Pritos has to stop the attackers from getting to site before they lose control, as it looks like he is the last line of defense, because I do not know where Fuwa is at the moment.
Yeah, Valkyrie trying to find something with the MPX, but that's a P shooter. We're going to see Fuwa over in the bathroom, still working on this rotation hole, so it's a little bit easier for his team to rotate around, but it's just 1-1 trying to go up this stack of 3 as they're pushing in hard from initiation, showing some strong initiative. I can't even say the word. That's how much is going on right now, as we see 40 seconds on the board, halfway to that 20-second meta that we always hear about.
Yeah, basically now UTSA just taking their time, trying to figure out where these last 2 players are so they can get into sight correctly. As you can see, it's Nomad knowing they're going to have to peek from the door, going to sneak in, but will he see the Maestro in the rotate hole? He will. And the gunfight, and he will win the gunfight against the Maestro. It's now a 2-on-1 for UTSA as the plant's going to be going down. Ash goes down, though. Valkyrie in the 1v1, plant going down. They have to finish the plant, and Oklahoma State will take out Easy Money, and that is an Oklahoma State win when all looked like it was lost for Oklahoma State, being pushed all the way to the balcony. They somehow fight back and steal that round win from UTSA.
Indeed, and now we're going into round 2, 1 up for the OK defense, and they just got to try to keep it going. They're going to go back towards the initiation area, this time taking the initiation and office site, still sticking away from throne room, but bringing 2 anti-wall people to perhaps throw a little bit of shade on whether or not they're going downstairs. We are going to see Primo running the Maverick, perhaps thinking that they're finally switching to dreaded throne room side, but no, we're going to stay upstairs and stay sky high over in the theme park for now.
Yeah, obviously second floor sites for Oklahoma State are, but they feel like they're better sites. The nice part about theme park is that all 3 sites that teams generally go to are valid. Even the 4th site, Drug Lab Storage, which is more or less seen by teams, is a very valid site if you play it correctly. The part where you start to see struggles is when you try to do just, simple type of play on Drug Lab is where you get most of that problems. But we are going to be seeing a lot of wall denial from the Oklahoma State side, as the walls getting into the site are very, very important. And it's very interesting that they actually reinforced a wall in bunks. That wall, generally, you can place a thermite charge on it to rip open the initiation wall. That, I guess, is why they have the Cade. Some teams choose to just shotgun it open, but instead it looks like they will just try to use the Cade to actually snatch the wall with the Cade and Cade all 3 of those walls, making it so you cannot thermite through the side.
Indeed, now we're going to see the UTSA defense or attack try to find their way into sight. Their attack phase is now started, and they're probing around with this Ash taking point, loving them with that little bit of ACOG love. R4C not going to be the monster that it used to be, but we are going to see some drone work coming out for the Ash. Not well known for that, but we are going to see Jaeger moving back away from that hatch as he's getting a little bit pressure right now between the drone work and the explosions pushing him away from his rotate. He's going to have to be very careful on how he plays this out.
Yeah, Jaeger in kind of a rough spot here, getting double droned. That is 2 drones off the board. He's going to face a 1v1 against Ton. Ton is going to win that, but he will have only 25 health remaining. So for the Jaeger, that's not really too bad. As Slash already going to get the refrag on a homie Migs. That's your thermite. That's a big loss for UTSA.
And now with the time still taking, halftime quickly approaching, we're going to see the man advantage in the side of OK so far, continuing to move forward, trying to keep them from reclaiming that diffuser. But we are going to see that Zophia's trying to make that easy money, collecting that diffuser right now, moving forward with the ACOG site, trying to find out these roamers, but can't find anything just yet. All this drone work coming out, but no stinger to come with it. Zophia's going to try to push on all by herself.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to see the parsec right now.
Yep, and Legion's going to pick up a kill onto easy money Zofia off the board. 2-man advantage for the defenders right now with 1 minute on the clock. It's not looking too good for UTSA as Toon and Ungly Primo have to work together if they're going to try to cap this. Toon, however, is on very low health, about 20 HP for his efforts. And we're going to see, I believe that's Primo. No, that's actually going to be Toon moving through and trying to get that diffuser towards site. Slash is going to be hoping to slash his efforts, however, playing that Legion still has a bit more health than him, but he's got to be careful on this. Flashbang's going to come out and it's going to do a partial flash. Ash is not going to commit. No, she's going to commit and pay the price for it as Slash picks up a triple kill and the diffuser right outside. Ugly Primo's going to have to try to find something fast, try to go for the frags as he connects one onto the bandit of OK. Time's running out, however, there's 20 seconds are left on the board, and the ACOG is just begging to find someone at the end of its gun sight. 10 seconds left on the board. Time's running out now, and he's trying to find something to pad his KD as he's moving forward into initiation, but he's not going to find it as he's going to get shot in the back by the Legion, picking up a 4K onto the round, and that's going to be OK, taking a second round for this first map here on Theme Park. So what are your thoughts on those 2 rounds? OK coming out swinging right now, trying to connect with this, and they're going to go ahead and finally go down to Throne Room for round 3. Everything like that going well so far, but we got to make sure that UTSA doesn't do too drastically right now. Now the prep phase setting up. We're going to see the Kaid, Mute, and actually no Bandit this round. Is that going to be a detriment to this OK defense? Already 2 rounds strong, but that could come to hurt them at the end of it, because if you lose even one of those operators, some of that utility very, very soon, then it's just going to end up being bad for them. Now the attack phase has started. UTSA trying to throw OK off of its high horse, and they're still moving forward with this. Has the same setup as last round. Not sure if that's going to work out for them, but they are going to have a lovely set of drone work coming out as they're moving towards the cache second floor.
Yeah, we're going to see the entry from the Zofia going to push towards the Mozzie inside of office.
He does manage to find one drone for himself, however, and he's going to be peeking towards cache, trying to find someone, hearing footsteps and hoping to connect with anything right now, but he does have Mute to back him up on the second floor. 2 versus potentially 4 right now, but the attackers don't know the exact position of these defenders, and they have Maverick ace in the hole playing on the hatch upstairs to potentially give a good flank. Defenders do have their own playing closer to Cafe, however, so it's going to be a 3v4 up here on the second floor as they try to clear out these roamers. Drones giving out intel, and it's going to be Toon on the Ash, inching forward, trying to find someone, anybody to take out. We see one on the rotate top of Yellow Stellars, but Toon does not as he's hiding behind the office chair. And with that, half of the time is already gone.
Yeah, the players for Oklahoma State playing passive on the walls until now as Ton just peeks Slash and takes him out as he's playing on top of the balcony above yellow stairs, one more player upstairs inside of bunks, but does UTSA know there's actually two more players as Mute is hiding behind the middle blocker inside of initiation.
Now with that, we're going to see, okay, fine, one kill, but the immediate refrag from Primo to connect with it. Going to be a 4v4, 1 minute left on the clock now, and they got to start pushing quicker. They do have that hatch open on the split doorways, and it seems that the roam game is sort of falling apart. Going to find a section through the wall, Mute down now. That's going to make it a 4v2 as Zofia is going to finish off what Primo started, and that's going to play a little bit better as time is still ticking out. We do have two defenders left alive, both the Kite and the Smoke. So the C4 and Smoke combos should work well to deny this play, but the Thermite wall is going to blow it open, and the SMG-11 is going to stay silent as it gets pressured into this corner. He's going to cut off the breach, however, with a smoke charge, and now the Zofia concussion's coming now. 20 seconds remaining, but he has plenty of time to at least hold this side. How is Kite doing? Is he going to be able to hold it against these defenders from his corner? SMG-11 rallying up but not connecting just yet. Kite picking up one but getting fragged out by Homemix on the Thermite. Diffuser is now going down, but the shotgun's not going to connect. Has 1 HP now and going to be found out by UTSA for round 3. Finally stopping OU's advance, And with that, it's going to be a 2-1 now.
Yeah, UTSA doing an excellent job that round of clearing out the roamers, even though it did take them almost a little over 2 minutes to really get rid of all the roamers. They had a quick execute onto site and just eliminated the two players remaining one by one in good fashion, as the plant was going down anyways, in which it made it a very hard situation for the Smoke to be able to pull out.
Indeed, and now we're going on to round 4 to see if UTSA can tie this up for the set. Trying to see if they can find this round 4 to put under their belt. Going to keep pushing forward, however, and we're actually going to see the return to daycare and bunks now that's reopened for the OKD.
Yeah, we'll see that this time if UTSA has a little bit better attack strategy for pushing bunks. As last time they were unable to finish the round off with a win as Oklahoma State fought back to end up allowing themselves to get a one-on-one with a guy who had to plant. And looks like the same defense is going to be put out from OK State this round. So UTSA already has the experience in attacking once. I wonder how they are going to change their attack based on what they're seeing.
Yeah, and with that, the prep phase is going to slowly run out of time now that we do have the Valkyrie, who might provide that little bit of intel and maybe even a C4 from below to shake things up a little bit. But with that, it's up to UTSA to make sure that the lead that OK has gotten is not forgotten. Moving forward onto this, we see them spawning around, just taking out these default cams. And, they got to change what they did in the first round. They lost this first round against OK on the defense here in daycare. They got to make sure that it's not going to be a 4v2 again where they just managed to find it out.
Once again, we're going to see Ton actually droning himself in. Very interesting that you actually see an entry droning themselves in, because normally you just have your support players droning, but actually he's going to be droning an Easy Money, who's going to take control of Cafe. As Homie Megs, their Thermite is going to go down again to Inception. That's a massive frag for the Oklahoma State side and puts UTSA at a pretty big disadvantage.
Indeed, Thermite gone, Hard Breacher gone, but they still have the Maverick to perhaps make some use of, as Ton is going to pick up Slash with a wonderful little headshot, tying up the man count so far, but he's going to use a little bit of help for it. And between the Jaeger and the Vigil, they're going to be trying to hold up this side. Actually, cutting off Jaeger. Jaeger is a sacrifice player, going to try to stay on that side of the wall, and he's going to be a little bit less flexible for that. If the attackers push him now, that could be detrimental to how he's going to get out of that site.
Yeah, that was a quite dangerous reinforcement done by the Vigil, as he could have almost gotten swung from the hallway while he was doing that. I wonder if their false reinforcement will help that Jaeger out in getting a kill without anyone knowing he was there.
And with that, Jaeger's going to find one onto Havoc playing on the Nomad. That's going to put the man advantage back into the hands of the defenders. But as soon as I say that, Ton is going to find one more, not wanting this to be too easy for the defenders. Jaeger pressured out now, but the diffuser is still far away from bomb site, as we're going to see 1 minute left on the clock. Narafrag going to try to come out. ADS is nowhere to be seen to help Jaeger out. And Zofia connecting with another one off cam. That's going to be the Maestro, the LMG going Daka, taking off the board. And Ton getting a 3K, this time taking off Valkyrie, giving her own black eye. It's going to be down to the cutoff Jaeger. Try to hold this down. Finding one but low HP before we're going to see Ton finish it off with a 4K to finish the round.
Yeah, that round, UTSA doing a little bit heavier push from the Cafe side, just really taking over that balcony and taking them out. Really turned out to be the help for UTSA that round, and maybe that reinforcement the Vigil put up, maybe screwing them over in the end. But we are going to be going to a rehost, it looks like, so we will be back with you after the rehost.
I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah. Take you like a pill. Get my Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a brief rehost, we're going to return to UTA versus OK on Theme Park, with the score currently being 2-2 going into round 5.
Yeah, game started off pretty good for Oklahoma State as they took the first 2 rounds, and then things turned around. UTSA, being down 2-0, came out, switched up their attacks, and ended up taking back 2 rounds, putting them at this 2-2 deficit, 2-2 tie that we see now. As we are going into the 5th round, we're going to see OK State just continue to rotate and go over to initiation room and offices.
Yeah, and with that, the prep phase is going to run out. Are we going to see no 6 picks right now? Initiation going to be the 5th site on the board. Looks like Oklahoma is just going to do the
Defenders,
standard 1, 2,
protect
3,
your
1,
bombs
2,
from
3
being
dance
defused by
here
attackers.
tonight. And are they going to fare just as well as they did the first time they ran this? Right now, they're a little bit shaky, having lost daycare, being 50-50 for that. Are they going to see that happen again with this site? What do you think, Sam?
I think that with the adjustments that UTSA made attacking bunks, we're going to probably plan on seeing them make some more adjustments as they decide to attack initiation room and offices this time. If they can keep their hard breacher alive,
10 seconds to insertion.
do a lot of good for them, as Homie Mig's been picked off as
5
actually
seconds
the
left.
only player on UTSA to die first. And he's been
Attackers'
picked off
objective
twice
is to
as the
locate a
hard
bomb and
breacher.
defuse it.
So that is something that UTSA needs to make sure that he stays alive so that they can get the walls if that is their push. And we're going to be seeing them doing a split push, which hopefully for them turns out better than it did last time.
Yeah, hopefully in Diaz they're going to start out right now. And speaking of hard breaches, what are your thoughts on bringing the Maverick over the Cali? Do you think that's strong for them? Do you think it's going to work out? Or do you think it's just going to end up bringing more rounds before the half?
With this style of map, you know, it's a lot of more close quarters
bomb
gunfights.
has
There's
been
not
located.
many hallways or areas where a Cali is going to be super effective. That gun is really massive. You're really immobile as Cali. You're basically only for your utility at that point. And even then, teams can just trick the Cali charges. So the Maverick is much better because, number one, the Maverick has nades and has a much better gun than Cali does, in my opinion, for this map.
Yep, that's quite interesting. I quite agree with you. The sniper rifle not going to be a very strong weapon in close quarters, but what will be is Leeson's SMG taking off Habit's head right now, putting them defenders at that man advantage that we'd love to see. And with that, halftime is going to be slowly approaching as they're waiting for the attackers to keep playing into them. We have 2 attackers coming in for our arcade, and I believe 2 more trying to dance along somewhere on the roof / cash push. We do see Primo and Homie Mix linking up together with that diffuser in hand. And it looks like Ash is going to be trying to trade back and forth with someone as we see Zofia pushing the Jaeger.
Yeah, for Oklahoma State, really what they got to do here is try to basically keep this Jaeger alive, but tons of people behind the Jaeger, as Zophia's going to be swinging him as the Jaeger gets pinched off by the 2 players over on the daycare side.
Time to make a new door.
As the wall will be getting thermite open by Homie Mix. So a lot of cover is going to be lost by this Oklahoma State defense in offices.
Yep, however, only a minute left. The defenders just need to hold out on this. They still have equal manpower to the round. We're going out. It's going to fall a bit short element, and that's an ADS down. Maybe not to connect with that wide Maverick. And the C4 coming out from Bandit to try to connect with someone on those double doors. We are going to see Slash down. I believe by Zofia, as Bandit's going to recruit back, taking out the thermite frags, going out and going to connect the ADS, not being able to stop that frag in, as well as tons. Ash charge. That's going to put the defenders at the man disadvantage. UTSA trying to take advantage of this, seizing a site, but losing Primo in the process.
Yeah, as Fu is going to go down to easy money, it's going to be all down to the Valkyrie here, who has a Deagle out right now. This is not good for her, as the Ash is going to take out Valkyrie and win the 3rd round in a row for UTSA. And I don't know if anyone else noticed there, but if you saw the Bandit when he threw his C4, he didn't even hit the guy in bathroom, and he blew up the Jaeger ADS. So when he did that, he basically screwed himself sitting in that corner because you no longer have the ADS to stop the nades of Maverick, and since his teammate was also down, it just completely eliminated their chances of winning the site, especially because they were already so cramped up inside of offices. But we are going to see Oklahoma State going to have to turn around and go. They're going to go back to bunk and daycare, as obviously they are not feeling comfortable with their throne defense. And I wonder how they're going to change up their strat this time, as UTSA obviously figured out how to attack them the last time.
Yeah, just to talk about that last round a little more, devil being in the details, that one ADS, that utility being the difference to change the round in one team's favor over the other. Let's see how OK is going to come back from that, if they're going to be OK from this steamrolling from UTSA 3 rounds in a row. Are they going to stop them here and tie it up for the half, or are they going to allow UTSA to have that advantage? Honestly, I think we're going to see UTSA continue the momentum. That's just because so far we're not really seeing too much adaptability from the OK team. You know, we're just seeing the same ops coming out depending on the site that they're playing and the same similar setups. You know, ultimately it's going to come down to if OK can outplay them with gunplay rather than a
10
change in
seconds to
utility.
insertion.
Yeah, I think a major key for OK State
5
here
seconds
is
left.
they need to stop this ton easy money push.
That
Attackers
just comes
must
in the
locate and
cafe. They
defuse
need
the
to slow
bomb.
them down and make them waste a lot more time and not let them get into the building and start working. Because as you see, Chun already, after this rehost, he has 3 kills on the board. Before, I think he had probably 6 or 7, as he is a massive fragger for this UTSA side. So if you can stop Chun, you have a better chance of winning the round.
Drone up. Torch is hot.
Yeah, we're going to see the Jaeger playing close to the trench dash area. He's going to be drawn out, but he's going to still play rather aggressively close to these doors and windows, trying to see if he can find an early pick onto anyone lurking into sight, into the room. Not going to quite connect with anything but a couple of drones, and now the pressure's coming out from the attackers. Izzy's going to be able to be aggressive enough to take advantage of this. The barricade's now open. Izzy going to go for the run out. He's lurking and lurking. He's going to go for it.
Designated staging
Not
area.
finding Nomad.
Bomb has
He's
been
going to be
located.
Holy Migs connecting for the headshot.
Yeah, Homie Migs now going 1 and 2 on the entry kills. That's a nice pickup kill there for him. As that's going to be their Jaeger down. Nomad is going to be placed in very limited health. But being able to put down her Nomad charges before she really has to take any more gunfights.
Yeah, now
Attackers have
halftime's
located a bomb.
approaching. Nomad is very well lit for that, but she's going to be able to support a team for the anti-flank utility that she is. She's going to be pushing forward towards site now. They're going to see the split push coming out yet again from the UTSA. They're going to try to make it work. As we see Maestra's LMG lurking around the restroom rotation hole. Sophia trying to find the shots, not quite connecting as Maestra does not peek into him just yet.
Is going to sneak into what looks to be a pinch as Friedhouse is going to shoot his teammate in the sight. Very interesting
Concussion ready.
attempt by the Valkyrie there.
And without a minute left on the clock, man advantage is in the favor of the attackers, but health is quite questionable for them right now, as we're going to see Sophia lose even more as she's pushing past that electrified wall. They gotta start executing fast. Gotta grab some control somewhere. They do have initiation side, and everyone's going to start to put more guns on it, but she's playing on close to it, and the Vigil's going to be taken down along with Maestro. Just going to be one. The Valkyrie with the P shooter managing to down one, but not able to withstand the pressure coming out from the Thermite player. That's going to be UTSA taking it into the half with a 2-round advantage, 4-2.
Yeah, Oklahoma State at the end there trying to go for those really aggressive plays, just, finish off the remaining players. Unfortunately for them, both their players missed their shots, unable to land to take out anyone, leaving that Valkyrie in a 4v1 situation. And even though the 4 players of UTSA combined for just over 100 health, and Valkyrie had 100 health, more guns equals more damage, which means you're going to probably lose that in most situations.
So going into the tide switch, what do you think is going to happen here? We're starting on throne room. Do you think that betrays a hand on the side of UTSA that they might not be prepared for defense on theme park, or do you think they're just willing to get the easy side out of the way and get that easy round count even higher?
So I would say that UTSA having a 4-2 split on the attacker side is going to be a massive advantage for them, as they picked this map, so obviously
the location of a bomb.
They would have strats. And it does look like they have the strats for this map. You see them bringing out the castle. Usually when a team brings a castle, they have some type of strat to go along with it. So UTSA has what I think is a pretty big advantage here, as they have strats. They're up 4-2 on the attack, as
10
this map,
seconds to go.
I haven't seen this map played enough. I haven't played this map enough in competitive to really know
5
what the
seconds to
split
insertion.
should be. But I can safely say that a 4-2 split for the
Attackers
attackers
are heading
is
out
a
to defuse
pretty
the bomb.
good split, as based on this match, I would be leaning a little bit more towards the defender-sided map. But this is looking really good for UTSA right now.
Yeah, the one worry for them, however, is that the fact that we're going to see OK State set up to potentially take out those bandit charges very easily. We're only going to have a bandit and a meat to try to deny this hard boost, along with whatever gunfight ability we can see from these two roamers upstairs. Jaeger playing close to the hatch, with pulling this on like Castle as well, very close. And the C4 is already going to ring out off cam, trying to find someone early on. But Mozzie trying to connect with someone, I believe, as a breach charge goes off to clear him out.
Yeah, as you're going to see a quick rush in, and that is not going to be good for the Ashes. Her head will barely be seen. Taunting a lot of aggressive shots, a lot of wall bangs randomly coming out to the defense, causing a lot of chaos. Ashes trying to rush and trying to stay alive. He's going to take one out. So that's out homie. He makes one more in office that he's got to clear out as the man office retreats over to Vault. Looks like rotation's coming down as Tun's going to take out Inception. Tun's going to take out Fua. And there goes a lot of your push right there. Tun's going to take out one more as a Thermite, and he will finally get taken out by the Twitch up through it. And it's going to be a 2v3 for the attackers with not much health. Make that a 1v3 now for the attackers as they're Ash unable to take out the Mozzie of Easy Money in Vault.
Yeah, and it's just Twitch by herself. Twitch not too common to trade anymore, simply due to all the nerfs she's been receiving. But it is going to be a C4 on the other side of that shower wall. Not going to quite connect to take him out, however. Trying to find the 1-3 battle, as well as the diffuser right now. Minute left on the clock for her to take advantage of. But she's got to play it very carefully. She knows that there's one bunking upstairs, but she doesn't watch her angles properly. She's going to be found out by him rather easily with that rapid fire rate coming out from Mozzie SMG.
Yeah, Oklahoma State just kind of falling apart, unable to figure out what Tun was doing or where he's at. Just him being able to take out those three attackers was really not good for the Oklahoma State side, as he would be shot from below by Ugly Primo with an angle up to the stairs. That's quite a nice angle for him, as he was able to defend his teammate Mozzie inside of Vault.
Yes, very well done on the UTS side. That's going to be a 5-round lead on, or not lead, 5-round consecutive win in this set, and they're trying to storm all the way to just get the 7 and done to close out this first map.
Yeah, as we're going to be seeing UTSA going to Initiation Room next, and they will be bringing a Kaede, so it's going to be a lot more difficult for those charges to be taken out, as we do see Oklahoma State bringing the Twitch. So obviously there, it looks like they are going to be trying to use those Twitch drones to take out the Kaede charges instead of, any other method, as being upstairs, you don't really have any method of going above or below the walls if you don't have a method. So those Kaede charges seem really effective.
Alright, being upstairs now, they do have this advantage of having the high ground, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would say, but are they going to benefit from that? We already saw their verticality plays coming out from throne room on the first floor. Are they going to be able to match that with the second floor hold? This is something that many teams will prepare for more adamantly, because this is just something that you have to do. It's that second floor. Second floor sites are always a stronger one, 9 times out of 10, and it's just a matter of how they're going to hold. They are going to have these wonderful sight lines to try to hold Cash a little bit better, try to prevent them from just pushing in hard and fast from the east, but this Blackbeard on the slash might slash away their efforts if he manages to get into sight range of these defenders. Running that wonderful marksman rifle, I believe, instead of the assault rifle. A little bit of a questionable choice when fire rate seems to be the name of the game, but if he can land his shots consecutively, he'll be able to connect just fine.
Yeah, one of the very interesting things that we're seeing from Oklahoma State, is we saw it last round as they attacked Armory and Throne, is the fact that they're doing a 5-man push from one side. There is no pinch or anything coming out from any of the players on any of the attacks on Oklahoma State, which, as you're seeing, is not a very easy thing to do, as you don't have any pressure from behind. The defenders don't need to worry about flanks or anything like that, and they can just basically take your one-on-one gunfights. As you see, the entire Oklahoma State's team is just lined up on this east side with no pressure at all from west.
What's funny is if UTSA really wanted to get aggressive, if they realize how they're stacking up right here outside of
Bomb
cash, they
located by
could
attackers.
go for a run out down below with a C4. That entire balcony is just soft plywood, and that could find 1 or 2 attackers in the midst of its explosive blast. Of course, they're not going to take advantage of that just yet. They want to solve things the classic way, and they're allowing the attackers to push into the trap that is the cash wall. Marksman rifle hanging out as he tries to find something. C4 going off, not going to quite connect, but the Nomad is 50 health less now.
Yeah, we're going to see Slash taking down this fight against Ton, and his Ton is going to actually just retreat back, knowing that they're not going to be able to control that hallway very easily, as Slash can be getting pretty lit up. As his Twitch going to try to make some moves. The maintenance reload. Trios will actually take on homie Migs. Start coming out from behind.
And with that, the man advantage is now the attackers that they're actually going to buy 2. Blackbeard connecting with the marksman rifle, but the ringing of the SMG-11 is going to connect back. However, 2v4 defenders at the disadvantage, and Plants going down on initiation. Sight Smokes too far away to use the smoke utility, and Mute already lost his C4, and then Captain on the other side right now finds the Nomad. However, that's a double kill for Primo, as the man advantage is still in the hands of the attackers. Diffuser on the ground, close behind, and Smokes playing very close as the flash starts coming out.
Yeah, with the Blackbeard being still left on the board, this is pretty favorable for the attackers right now. As if this smoke hits this Claymore, it's likely going to kill the Twitch. This Twitch actually gets down, but will get down by the Thermite. And then Slash going to finish off Ugly Primo, as Oklahoma State takes 1 round back.
Yeah, and that now puts us 5-3. Oklahoma State trying to close the gap right now, but UTSA going to try to keep the momentum going. A little bit of a stutter in their step now, but they got to just keep going. They're going to roll back onto initiation room and see if they can run it again one more time and find the win. Trying to right now. Look,
very interesting how that 5-man push actually worked out very well for the attackers. They're generally
that normally doesn't tend to work, but as you saw, looks like OK State basically just, knowing that UTSA will just back off, and they just gave and gave and gave, really allowed Oklahoma State to just, pressure them so much that, as you saw, homie making a rotation, just gets picked off by Pruitt, and once that happened, it was just it basically opened a dam that was just waiting to break. And you just saw a lot of frags being traded out by both teams, as that kind of seems how it goes when both teams are, getting in basically a full team gunfight outside of sight.
Indeed. However, how is UTSA going to change this now, knowing that OK State is probably working towards a 5-man push yet again, if nothing else changes? Odds are we're going to see a couple more C4s being thrown out, utilized even better to connect, if we see the same eastward hard push coming out. And when we do have that pulse, who can play down below, wreaking havoc as his explosives can ring out through the daytime.
5 seconds left.
It's very interesting to see as they're going back to the stage site. Actually, in the 6-pick phase, on the last round, you saw that go to the pulse, but then he quickly changed over to the smoke. It looks like they're just going to be changing their strat just a little bit to throw this OK State side off. It's very interesting to see that Slash has a suppressor on his Eagle. I think that is very, very nice.
Yeah, the suppressed Eagle is a sound that's very, very comforting to the ear, but is it going to be worth it for that decreased damage? Time will only tell us. We're actually going to see OK State opting for a bottom push. Blackbeard as well as Sledge pushing forward, and we're actually going to see Havoc taken off the board already. C4 lost, life lost as well, and the man advantage in the attackers as they just get the kill and then go ahead and run away. They see, I believe the pulse was found out, and then he knew that he was going to play down below to wreak havoc on that cash soft floor. So they've taken him out, they took away that utility, and now the defenders of UTSA have to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, something that's very interesting from the Oklahoma State side and how they're changing the way they're attacking. They wasted no time in getting rid of that pulse below, but now as you see, Ton is actually rotated over to the throne side. Going to probably go for a flank on Dragon. But how effective will that be with the ability to just put one person watching those stairs to stop Ton from getting up? And basically, he's leaving his team with a 3-on-5 on site. As once this Mute dies, maybe the Mute's been seen. That drone is just chilling, as that drone will get knifed by Ugly Primo. He's going to probably peek a Blackbeard here with the shotgun. It's going to be very interesting to see how this ends for him.
Of course, all he has to do is deny the line right now. He does see the flashes coming out. The C4 is not going to connect. He is going to be able to get it. Oh, almost get it back, however. One round on the other side, and the Zofia charge is coming out. C4 is going to do no damage. No damage connecting with anyone on the attacking side, as he's very cautious on peeking it right now. I don't think this is time to be aggressive, Primo. You need to back off. You do have the black. You have 2 guns pointed at you. You're not going to the fight's going to swing anyway and lose his life for it. And with that, double kill on the round for OK Espionage. Actually, triple K now, as we're going to see a 2v4 occur.
Honestly, that could not have turned out any better for the Oklahoma State side. Losing their lowest health player to Ton, such a dangerous fragger, just finding out where he was going, as Tun's going to actually rotate over to Yellow Balcony, as he's going to take out Pruitt.
Attackers are activating the bomb.
And it will now be a 3-on-1 as Kanoma gets another plant off, the second round in a row that he gets the plant down. As Ton is trying to take long the hollow, this does not look good for him, and his chances of winning is fairly slim.
Yeah, ton of weight on his shoulders right now, trying to find the things out. 30 health left remaining, and even though the Carbine's an amazing weapon, he's not going to find anything to not against 3 attackers hiding, lurking in the back of the cash room, and the drone's coming out to spot him out. With that, he's just going to start running out of time. He's got to get to the defuse fast, and he just doesn't have the time to go for it. He's gonna creep away to pad the KD, maybe find a lurking attacker as well, but nothing's going to be in favor of him at the time.
As the suppressed Deagle, as we mentioned earlier, swings out of the bathroom to hurt Tun's KD a little bit there at just in the last seconds of the round. And OK State fights back to tie this one up 5-4. To bring it back in 1 round of UTSA, as the score line is now 5-4. And we're going to see UTSA go back to Armory and Throne this time. Last time was a very, I would say, lopsided win for UTSA, as their up top roam game just really dominated the roam clear of OK State, or I should say that Ton on the top of Dragon just dominated OK State.
Yeah, going back to Throne, however, I really am questioning the thought to not bring all 3 anti-breachers. You have Bandit, you bring Kaid as well, and that could perhaps just lock things up, gives you more flexibility on Bandit tricking or Kaid tricking, or even meat tricking if you feel like it. No Maverick on the other side either, just the Zofia to perhaps help them out in the frags of Sledge as well, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Not when you have the Maverick utility still unbanned. That could have been detrimental to the defending team. Especially the question of how UTSA decides to play this, how well they're going to be able to defend those walls and keep their own game strong.
Yeah, as we're going to see, it looks like once again 2 players going to be on the downstairs
10
for
seconds left before insertion.
UTSA, and 3 above.
5 seconds remaining.
I wonder if Oklahoma State just going to realize that UTSA is playing so heavy
Attacker's
above,
objective is
and
to
especially with
defuse
this
the bomb.
castle on that waiting door. You know, they're completely separating themselves off from one part of the map. If Oklahoma State were to straight rush the first floor through split of the UTSA defense right now, they're going to have the easiest one of their lives, as it's going to be a 5-on-2 on site with very little rotations for the defenders to actually get back and help those 2 players. But it looks like they're going to be switching their 5-man take, and they're going to do a 5-man take from the west side this time, going through Cafe, as the entire UTSA side has set up to defend on the east side of the map.
And this is what's so hard about this Storm Room site. The second floor it's just a little bit of a questionable utility, whether you're attacking or defending. If it's a Throne Room site, it's almost like you don't really need to go there. You're just pulling utility away from the main objective with that in mind. We are going to see the flashes coming out now to stun away the Bandit, but he already has his charges down, and he's going to lose his C4. Actually, it's so detrimental for the defending team not being able to have potential free damage or free kills. And now there's C4 coming out, not going to connect, however, as it doesn't go off in time. Thermite's just going to shoot it as it lands onto the ground.
Yeah, and one of the problems we're seeing right away is the fact that they are putting, that cast break up. So Slash is
single-handedly going to be able to defend the entire upstairs site
Attackers bomb
as
diffuser has been
Ton already
dropped.
takes down Konoma, the
Attackers
hard
recovered the
breacher
bomb
for
diffuser.
Oklahoma State. As I believe Slash just still sitting up there, being able to hold off all defenders,
Bomb
but
located by
UTSA
attackers.
rotating down. Fuwa going to get a frag onto easy money. And it now looks like it's going to be a 4-on-4, basically on site, as that Poke is going to get away, or that used to get away with a very interesting rotation.
Yeah, a minute left on the clock now. Trying to run out the clock as not too aggressive with this. This is honestly what I like to see from defenders, but Ton is going to be the one to put it up. Sophia right now, and a trade's going to happen. We're going to see 3v3 as we're going to lose Sophia to Ton as well as Mix on the side of the defense, and Ton's going to find another one for himself, connecting with Fuwa, and the quad kill, trying to go for the ace. Now it's just a Sledge that he has to find if he wants to wrap that up. Sledge all alone over near Haunted Stairs, however, might be able to Bandit wreaking havoc to try to find him out. About half health for him, and he's going to creep around, and the creeping is not going to be worth anything as he's just taken down immediately. Love a little headshot.
Yeah, kind of interested why the Sledge wasn't scoping in there. But once again, Ton just absolutely running over this Oklahoma State side. They open the wall. Ton just fights his way actually out of sight into the breach and just wipes the entire Oklahoma State side on that side of the map. And the inability for Oklahoma State to kill Ton is becoming a very big problem for them on some of these attacks, where once he gets loose, he is very hard to stop, as you saw last round.
I guess you're saying that they have a ton of trouble against him?
Yeah, that's a really horrid pun, but we'll allow that.
We'll allow it. Thank you, Snail, for your blessing. But speaking of blessing, UTSA trying to put their own spin on this map as they're trying to put it away here on match point.
Yeah, as they're actually going to go to bunks for the first time.
Yeah, this of course is their pick, so this is the map for them to win right now, and all they have to do is stow it away. One more round could be the difference between seeing this map packed away or
Attackers need to
seeing us
locate
go
and defuse
into
bombs.
overtime.
Yes, will Oklahoma State make us watch all 12 rounds, or will UTSA make us only watch 11? It's a difference of about 4 minutes. But
With that,
we're
we're
going
going-
to see a heavy hold
Attackers
on
have
the east
discovered
side,
the location
as
of a
they're
bomb.
going to be, looks like they're going to be holding initiation as well as offices, and not putting a lot of reinforcements over on the balcony side
seconds
of
remaining.
Arcade, leaving that to be what you
5
can say is
seconds
their
left
weakest
before
point of
insertion.
defense. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of clear
Attackers are heading
decides
out to
run.
defuse a bomb.
It looks like Oklahoma State is finally going to split up their team. We're going to see half of them spawning bumper cars, along with the other half spawning over on the teacup side.
Yeah, this
It
take
is-
is going to be good.
Yeah, it's in the hands of the hard breach, however, and they'll be able to potentially open up that wall with rather strong ease. I don't even think there's a mute jammer on that, to be honest. They might be able to open that up, but the Maestro camp is going to give the intel that the defenders need, as well as that lurking Jaeger creeping down that long haul Ton, trying to spell more trouble for these attacks.
Yeah, right now, this basically looks like a three-man attack on Ton, who's just single-handedly pushed all the way up here. Want to do everything he can to try to stop this Oklahoma State side from taking control of cash, but he realizes that it's limited, so he decides to back off, as it looks like the Oklahoma State side has decided to do a 5-man push once again.
Yeah, honestly, ooh, they're actually rotating all the way around. We have the Blackbeard keeping the attention on the east side, but we're going to switch over for an arcade-style push with Sledge leading the charge, as well as the hatch being opened up. Now, no one's inside Cafe, no one's creeping right inside Arcade, and this might be the
A bomb
change.
has
We
been
need,
located.
splitting the attention a little bit, making a question, is it an east push? Is it a west push? What are we needing to pick out?
Yeah, unfortunately for Oklahoma State, it would have been a little bit more effective if they actually opened up stuff earlier. But instead, you're going to get the opening frag on Homie Miggs. Homie has been one of the 2 people in these entry frags, I believe, all but 3 rounds this map so far.
as Ton going to have to come over to the arcade side to hold off this attack.
And with that, we're going to see Ton taking down the slash on Blackbeard. The Saran Wrap's not going to protect him, however, and that's the man advantage put back in the hands of the defenders as Nomad's going to actually upset that a little bit, taking Ton off the board. Finally, 50 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for the defenders to keep themselves alive and win out this final round.
Yes, with Ton off the board, this looks like a very good round for Oklahoma State as this pre-place, or this throw from Havoc coming out, does Oklahoma State realize as Havoc is flanking Thermite. Oh man, he needs to get this side quickly as Thermite does. Luckily for him, as Havoc will take out one from behind, and one gets Nomad charge. Advantage with the defense now, as Plant's going to be coming down from Kanoma. Will he get the plant up as the Havoc swings in, quick scopes Kanoma down, and UTSA will take map 1, 7-4, as they will have a 1-0 series lead.
Yeah, just the tag team back and forth from the Goyo and the Mute simultaneously to finish off the round. Ton being the MVP. And with that, we are all set for map 2. Map 2 is going to go ahead and be the Villa map, which is Oklahoma State's pick. We're going to see Oklahoma on the attack and UTSA on the defense. But with that, we're going to throw it to a quick 5-minute break to allow these players a little bit of downtime, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, everyone. It is yours truly, Snail, with DJ, back for map 2 of what is going to be Villa, as UTSA take their map of Theme Park 7-4 after showing a pretty dominating defensive side as well as attacking side against Oklahoma State. As we are going to be moving into now Oklahoma State's map pick of Villa, as UTSA is leading 1-0 in the series so far. Oklahoma State has to win this map to keep their playoff hopes alive. If UTSA is able to finish it out, they will be going on to the round of 8. And we'll be playing the winner of, I believe it's Cal University against somebody else that I cannot remember right now.
You're looking at South Dakota State versus Gallery Esports. They made a funny team name for this intercollegiate season, but the players are ready and we are loaded into the in-game, so we're ready to see these op bans go ahead and come on out. UTSA getting the first ban onto the attackers, and I'm excited. I love seeing Villa. Villa used to be the map where teams were so afraid of it that they were banning. But thankfully now we have Theme Park and other maps to take the edge off of it, as well as teams become more comfortable. But this Thatcher ban yet again, why they gotta do my homie like this? OK State being much more confident in who they're gonna pick, going right away towards the Ash target ban, I believe. Hear that? Or they just don't want that powerful assault rifle on the board, as well as that wacky.
Yeah, the Ash ban definitely directed at Ton. No doubt about that. I mean, some teams just don't like playing against Ash on stream. That's true. And obviously, as Primo says, we all know that Monty is obviously Ton's main, so I don't really know what the idea of OK State banning Ash was there at all.
Yeah, I think they want to change something along. They don't want to have that fragging potential. They rather have a shield that has no fragging potential than an Ash that's just going to zoom into sight and take them over. We are going to see the standard bans of Mira and Echo off the board. That means we're going to have operators such as Pulse, Maestro, even Clash, the infamous Clash, up on the board.
Yeah, as we do see a lot of Battle Eye bans coming out as well, that is a thing to celebrate as more hackers are getting banned off this game. So let's just take a quick moment to give a round of applause to Ubisoft for getting their act together and banning some more people. As we're going to be looking at the sides and the site, we're going to be seeing UTSA starting on the defense, going to take it over to Aviator and Games Room first. Mostly the default site for most teams on this map, as it is presumed to be the best site. Now, do I know if that's true? I don't know. I tend to like Aviator and Games the most, but there are some teams that do prefer the first floor sites over the second floor sites.
Yeah, going up to Aviators now, one of the standard sites that you're going to see here. I'm really interested to see if we're going to see any library here tonight, because library being the black sheep of the bunch, you know, I can't stop talking about it, but UGA with their library hold that they had has me hooked on seeing more of these black sheep sites being played. But we first got to see how they do with the basics. The Aviators coming on out, and they have no bandit on the side of that. Instead, they're going to use a mute to try to hold down this side, and in place of that bandit, they're going to bring utilities such as the double anti-frag and flash combo of Jaeger and Woman.
Yeah, Villa being one of those maps where the impact trick is super effective. If you're a team that cannot bandit trick or K trick for the life of you, your Villa is your map. If you can throw an impact at a ceiling, you can stop every single breacher from opening up the wall except for Habana and Maverick. So really, you can only stop Thermite. But Thermite, in my opinion, best hard breacher. So, and most teams do generally bring Thermites over other operators because Habana, while she can make 3 holes compared to Thermite's 2, Thermite makes those big holes that allow full teams to site rush. As we're going to see Ton going for the cheekiest spawn peak probably in the game right now with the little bullet hole. Unfortunately, well actually fortunately for the attackers, nobody will be found by Ton.
Yeah, that's a ton off the shoulders of the attackers right now, as Oklahoma State is starting to start setting up to drone into the study area. We're going to see 2 operators on the repel, and Buck down below in piano range trying to see what he can find below the site.
Yeah, they look like they're going to be taking off the mute jammers off the wall. As we're going to see two players, Ugly Primo in basement and Pulse in Memorial, just waiting for them to walk towards red stairs so that they can face the wrath of a 5'4" Mozzie. As a player got close, but he got scared away at the last second, and will just hang out in the main lobby with the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, the drone is going to start cleaning back, however. He's going to take a shot at the IQ, rocking the LMG, not going to connect, no damage from the sky, but he's still going to lurk around, getting tagged for 25 HP from Buck. But now he's rotating back all the way towards the kitchen downstairs. Pulse, however, going to be lurking in library as IQ is going to find him out, losing a lot of health for that, however. Putting the man advantage in the hands of the attackers as halftime hits the board. We are going to see Wamai at the top of this main stairs. The barbed wire is taking away the attacker's presence. And now we've got to be prepared to be put in an angle. The study hall and the main stairs going to rotate back into the to just get comfortable. As you see those Habana pellets just sitting stagnant. Just actually, as they come alive now.
Yeah, we're going to see breaching coming out from the Oklahoma State side. Ugly Primo is going to refrag, settling down as Kanoma is going to take out easy money. And with that, going to be an advantage in terms of offense as Ton is going to go down as Fuwa takes on as they're traded out by the C4 of Homie.
Attackers
It's
have
all
recovered
down
their
to
diffuser.
the Mute and the Mozzie to defend the three attackers from getting this plant down. As Primo on the flank, as Fuwa is going for the plant, going to get ripped apart by Slash, who's holding on to rotate up main stairs. As Homie Migs, the last one to go 1v3 with just an SMG-11, will also get that deleted by the Buck. And Oklahoma State, as they did on the first map, will win round one.
Yeah, Oklahoma State taking round one. This is their map, so they're going to try to steamroll as many sites as they can against the UTSA attack, or against the UTSA defense, excuse me. And they are going to keep on winning. And my words don't seem to want to come out. I'm just excited to see Villa being played as we're going to return to Aviators. See if UTSA can find a little bit more luck. Are we going to see anything come out of this with any operator changes? No, it looks like everything's going to stay just about the same.
Yeah, Villa is one of those maps where, you know, you can lose a site and go back to the same operators, just played a little bit differently. As you see, the map is so massive that where players are actually set up is almost more important than the strats themselves. Because of the way the doorways and hallways are positioned in Villa, you don't really need to have super advanced and well put together strats. More, you just need good positioning and good teamwork. So being able to bring the same operators site in and site out, just changing where you're playing, is very helpful for these defenders.
So we're going to see more or less the same setup coming around here. And honestly, I find this a little bit questionable for UTS. Hey, they've already been steamrolled once in this setup, and with that in mind, they aren't changing anything. I guess they're going to rely on their gunplay to follow up with this utility, but the IQ on the board being able to clear it out, unless you have your roamers Mozzie, as well as Pulse being able to connect well. Actually, no Pulse here tonight. Pulse is actually going to take a back seat as Maestro is going to be on the board instead. So one operator change, providing a little bit more intel as well as an LMG worth of bullets, could be the change. But I feel it might be a little bit too small of a change compared to everything else. You don't see any Kaid, you don't see any, bandit. Personally, I think the Kaid would have a little bit more luck holding those walls against the IQ. You could hide it behind something that's a little bit more bulletproof, perhaps. But, options aren't really that many, as we are going to see the attackers setting up yet again to try to clear the utility from down below.
As you can see, Easy Money holding his shield on the top of main stairs. One of probably the better shields on this map. You're able to hold a lot and get a lot of control, and you cannot be shot from below when on that shield. We found that out the hard way the other day, wasting 2 nades on it. But we are going to see the IQ going below, looking for the mute jammer, as we're actually going to see the entry Fuwa going to take out Easy Money on top of those main stairs. And now the attackers have an advantage.
Attacker's advantage indeed. Well, my gonna be found out, but Jaeger creeping around trying to find someone below it. Maestro connecting with the IQ, however, taking her off the board and trying to find something to put a ton of pressure on these attackers. Ton of health off the board for that Nomad, however, but she's gonna still remain alive as Buck's gonna find Tutor rotating away towards the dining room side of the map.
Yeah, one thing that I'm finding very interesting is Oklahoma State no longer really trying to push ton, whereas they actually try to get him to rotate and just catch him on the rotates to kill him instead of trying to take the one-on-one gunfight with him. Going to be very interesting to see how they tend to do that more and more as the map goes on, as we're going to see a 4v3 advantage for the attackers here. We'll have to face off against Homie Mibbs with the shotgun as he's going to get flashed up a lot. Buck, not going to swing, no rotate, but he's just playing close on the vault. Does Buck know? I don't think he does.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
And he does not, as he gets shotgun in the face.
So without only one attacker remaining, the Blackbeard Slash trying to keep the Saran Wrap to protect his little pretty head, but he's going to take the same angle that Buck did. Mute, fortunately for him, rotating back towards the server, and not going to be able to find him out just yet. He's just playing very close on the C4 being ripped. Not going to scare him, however, as he's going to remain close. Mozzie giving away his position, but baiting out the position of Blackbeard, confirming where he is. And now the C4 might go down and connect. Is he going to commit to it?
15 seconds
No, nothing
remaining.
yet. Everyone's just taking a little silence. Out now, C4 is going to actually blow up a teammate as the LMG from Maestro is going to ring out from across the site and take the head off of Slash.
Yeah, I find that pretty interesting that, you know, teammate puts him down instead of the actual attacker. You know, just have to damage his KD a little bit. Can't let him have one less death than he should have. But we are going to see a site change have to come out here from UTSA as they have one aviator. So it looks like they're going to most teams and pick secondary site of trophy and statuary. We are going to be seeing a Cade this time coming out from UTSA, as Cade can get all three walls with one Cade, so that makes him a pretty effective operator.
Do you think we're going to see any Kaid trick in here tonight? You know, they know the IQ's lurking down below, clearing out their mute jammers and allowing them to push into sites. If they allow that same thing to happen to these Kaid charges, it could prove detrimental. So with that Kaid on the board, he could provide a little bit more of juggling utility, provided that IQ moves away and doesn't stick around for the second.
I'm guessing that there's going to be less Kaid tricking and more, you know, impact tricking from the defending side, as the impact trick is a little bit more effective than the Kaid trick, as, you know, you have to time it correctly to make sure that the Kaid activates before the thermite charge goes off, and also the fact that it can get dated from below before it even affects the wall. So you're probably going to see UTSA go for more of impact tricks, as they are actually setting up the wall for impact tricking.
10 seconds
as
remaining.
they reinforce the opposite of actually in the
5
site.
seconds to insertion.
That's
The thing with impact tricking is that even impact tricking is unreliable.
Locate a bomb
You know,
and
you're not
defuse
going to see it work 100% of the time. It depends on where the explosion hits, you know, how it impacts onto the field, and that too might become just not something that is going to be reliable for the UTSA defense.
Drone up.
Deploying sensor.
From my experience with impact tricking on build up, I would say that most of the walls that you're trying to impact trick are fairly reliable if you do it correctly. But yeah, as you're saying, it is kind of easy to mess up impact tricks, but it's also fairly easy to get them right. So it more or less comes down to your ability to know what you're doing and know your surroundings and just make sure that you do it right. Some players, if they get flustered when they're trying to impact trick, they make simple mistakes. As we're going to see Ugly Primo and Havoc moving around in a almost train-like formation, as Havoc just basically being a human heart detector for Primo down there, as Ton was going to pump down for some support, but chooses to go back up into bathroom.
Yeah, now we're going to see halftime quickly approaching. No, with the operators taking any damage.
Attackers have located
and we are
a
going to
bomb.
have this Valkyrie lurking around in the basement as Nomad's at the top of those red stairs. It proves detrimental as the IQ's finally going to work on that Kaid utility. He's going to manage to find one now. We see the Kaid sitting closely as well. So he's going to try to connect through the floor, but not going to find the wall bang, unfortunately, for the defenders. That's now clear, but we are going to see the pulse taken out as we're going to see Sledge lurking down below and trying to get that sledgehammer kill. But he's just lurking under this too far, and so he's going to have to result to an AR kill as well. Thermite taking ton off the board.
Yeah, I don't want to really be that guy to critique the Sledge on trying to sledge his opponent, but that was a pretty dumb play, as if you take all that time, it is very possible that you actually end up dying trying to do it because Ugly Primo was still down there. They obviously did not have the site cleared as there's coming up from the Valkyrie, and he's going to get hit by a Nomad. He's going to go in for the plant. Looks like it's going to be going down because there is no one going to stop the planter, and he will get in a gunfight against the guy in Connector. As it is a 4v1, 4v0. It's going to be very hard for him to be able to win this, especially with just 2 doorways that he can enter from. And they're droning him out even more, as Slash is going to be throwing something at him, maybe? I don't know. But doesn't matter, as Nomad will take or trade with Ugly Primo to secure Oklahoma State with their second point of the map.
Yeah, Oklahoma State with the round advantage now, trying to keep putting this away, trying to work with this right now, keep their map pick going strong. You're going to see another defense come from UTSA on the trophy side, and are we going to see a repeat of, are we going to see a repeat of what we saw last stream, last night, where we saw Trophy just not being the site for the defending team in the first half of the map?
Yes, Trophy is a fairly difficult site to defend for a lot of teams, as, you know, you have the master bedroom takes that are, you know, annoying in themselves and fairly easy for the attackers to open up the wall. But what's even worse is when they can totally clear through Aviator in games easily and push from those double doors, which can take off a lot of coverage from those players in sight. And then, as you saw Oklahoma State do, when you combine an Astro stairs push with a master bathroom take against a team that has a good amount of roamers, it is a recipe for disaster for the defense. And it is just very hard to put down as many attackers are rushing in as before, you know, the attackers kill you.
So, with all of this in mind, we are going to see as well to try to deny that intel, I believe, as well as provide a little bit more of that.
10 seconds to go.
Is this going to work out? However, like at this point, I'm almost questioning the preference of utility versus gunplay, because there's still that IQ on the board. If you have better guns rather than utility, because IQ is just going to end up clearing that utility one way or another from below, unless you have a really strong lurker or roamer. So the trade-off has to be there. Either you bring someone good utility that you also know how to use the gunplay well, or you gotta find someone who just loves to balance it out. And that's just my opinion on it, because they aren't killing this IQ fast, and we see their roam game being taken off very early for random reasons, and the utility is just deleted by Oklahoma State.
Yeah, with that being said, it makes it very easy for Oklahoma State to win all of those attacking rounds, as we are going to be seeing a different style of defense from the UTSA side this time, as they only have the one roamer, the deep roamer of the Valkyrie, going to be playing over in Living, and it's going to make for a very interesting round on the site attack, as there are more players on site to take out, and this flank from the Valkyrie could be very, very effective, as one drone has already drone past me.
We are going to see the attack just clearing out from below very well. The utility on the wall is still up. IQ off the board already. This is the change at UTSA needs to get another round on the board of this Villa map. Trying to find something from the verticality, but he's going to be shot, almost shot to death by the Valkyrie running around piano. But Valkyrie rushing too quickly as she's still reloading. Going to be found out by
Fritos with his second entry frag of the round, and that makes, and with Havoc going down, that has made every entry go in the favor of Oklahoma State. And
Attacker's bomb
not
diffuser
only
has been
is that
dropped.
Credo's second entry kill, Havoc has died 3 times he has been the entry flag 3 times, I should say. As Ton is going to have to retreat over to Master to try to hold this off. As Hoda picks piece, what a shot from Ton, taking out Fluid, trying to push the doorway. And they have the diffuser now in bathroom, as that is where the Thermite died. And it's going to be up to Pruitt and Slash to somehow secure this diffuser back, as it looks like Slash is getting very close to finding out where Ton is inside of this master room.
Creeping around now, trying to find something to the Alt connecting with one. That's going to be the Jaeger off the board. Double kill for the Sledge of Oklahoma State. Trying to connect up with Slash. One defender holding up against the red stairs, and the diffuser going to be only Slash now on the Blackbeard. Trying to see what he can do.
Yes, the flank from Easy
15
Money
seconds to go.
a lot of work
Attackers
for
recover the
this
bomb
defending
diffuser.
side, as you're going to have the man standing on top of the sinks in bathroom. A very common spot that's being played in that bathroom, as it's very hard to be seen, and not a lot of people really expect it, as Slash will go down, and UTSA will take back another round, and will tie up the game 2-2.
Yeah, game tied up just like the first map. Are we going to see UTSA bringing it back like we saw in one, where they just go on a nice little steamroll? They already got 2 rounds in a row on the board. Or, excuse me, they already have 2 rounds on the board. They actually alternated between sites. Are we going to see them continue to go, just keep racking up rounds?
I'm thinking that with the fixes that they've made to positioning when they have been defending these past sites, that their future defenses are going to be much better. It is always good to see when a team goes back to a site that they just lost, makes adjustments, and wins the round. You know that that team has found a strategy that worked against the attack that the offense ran. So now when they're going back to Aviator this round, it's going to really fall on Oklahoma State. Can they adjust to what the UTSA side did
Defenders,
last
protect your bombs from
time they
being
defended this
defused by
site,
attackers.
and work on that so that they can then win the site back?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, it's gonna be on it's gonna be on Oklahoma State to see what they can change up, see what kind of pressure they can put. We already know that defenders are gonna be looking out for that IP in the utility down below. But are they gonna be able to change their pressure? How they pressure these defenders? How they clear out these roams in a way that they don't overexpose their utility?
Yeah, I think it's very important for the attackers
10
here
seconds left
to,
before
when they do
insertion.
go after roamers, find roamers, and pick off roamers, that they have to keep
5
in
seconds
mind
left.
what is clear and what is not clear. There are a lot of flanks that
Attacker's
the
objective is to
UTSA
locate a
side
bomb
is
and
doing,
defuse it.
and they're just flanking around behind defenders. So even though OK State might get the opening pick, get the opening advantage, you know, it can lose that all very quickly because of the flanks coming out from UTSA. So there's only really 2 ways to fix that. Either you hide drones to watch flanks so for your dead teammates to sit on so that you do not get killed from behind, or you have to move faster than the flank, which can sometimes be very difficult depending on what type of site you are
Attackers drop the
attacking and
diffuser.
who you are going up against on
Attackers
site.
recover the diffuser.
Indeed. Well, we're going to see most of these attackers switching for downstairs, which we do see Abana lurking away towards that north side area, as Primo's actually going to be over near the stock side.
Bomb located by attackers.
As we are going to be seeing the OK State side already getting that opening frag. Ton going to be in not any pressure going around him, but gets a little bit nervous as he hears droning and windows breaking around him, as he's going to have to fall back to 90 and just wait until to see what the attackers decide to do. It looks like they're going to go up to top red and do a north to south take of the site, as the IQ just looks around for any Valkyrie cams that may be left.
Yeah, right now with only the mine taking down, the defenders still have a strong hand in this. Maybe one gun taken off the board, but they have time on their side. The attackers have to play into them, and that's something that any defending team should try to remember. We do have the mute playing one inside of play. The C4s did not connect, however, coming out from mute. That's one base. Does Monty have his own to utilize? And the attackers trapped on the top of red stairs, but we already see IQ managed to find one more room for 2K on the match. Homie makes it over, connecting with a buckshot to take down and end her raid along with Bucks.
Yeah, very nice shots from Homie to take down 2 players with shotguns, turning the advantage back to neutral. As this Oklahoma State side basically just threw 2 lives away, pushing that as Slash going to be coming in from behind, going to have to take on Ton, as Ton's going to swing and just dominate the Blackbeard on that face shield, taking out Slash, and Maestro now holding the door, but Maestro gets swung on by Kanoma. Kanoma taking him down, making it a 2v2 once again, all down to Fuwa and Kanoma to get this round win, as Homie is just sitting by this door with the shotgun, and Ton is just firing at the doorway. It's going to be very
10
difficult
seconds
for
left.
this
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been
OK
dropped.
State side to win, as Homie makes it down one more with the shotgun, and Ton will finish off on Fuwa, and I believe that is a combined ace for Ton and Homie Migs that round. Great play out of them. Homie Migs, nice 3K with the shotgun. Good positioning on his part.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, okay, they tried to do their best on the round. They tried to change up several times, but UTSA was prepared for it. They had their team ready to defend both angles, and they were just trading lives. You know, they were doing the smart thing. They weren't over peaking. They attacked when they least suspected, but they didn't overextend their aggression. They made sure it was in short bursts. You know, they did lose a couple of lives when, let's say, Maestro swung that steady door and was just found out, but they countered it back with nice refrags, and that allowed UTSA to get a round advantage going into the 6th round, the last one that we have before the switch.
Yeah, they really did a good job of playing smart, not over peaking, not getting too aggressive or too worried about anything that was really going on. Just kind of shooting whoever came at them, which is all you really have to do to win on defense. As we're going to see the first floor side of the game coming out of where we go to dining, as it's going to be very interesting to see what type of hold they pull out here, as there, I don't believe that I saw a sledge on the side of the attackers, so it's going to be very hard for them to open up a lot of holes, but the Zofia and the Nomad both have, and the IQ actually, all 3 have breach charges, so that is 9 total holes you can open up above the dining site. But it's going to be very interesting to see what type of push the attackers decide to do. Will they go for upstairs control, or will they try to go in through laundry or pantry to clear the defenders off the site?
I gotta say though, if they're bringing that many breach charges just to keep that verticality, at what point do you just say,
10
let's just
seconds
bring a
remaining.
foot? You know, allow Nomad to bring some flashes to their ADSs, or
5 seconds
and
to go.
you have frag grenades then. You have frag grenades to use against the opposition to clear utility and
Attackers are
clear
moving out to
defenders.
locate a bomb.
At
and
that
defuse
point,
it.
you know, it becomes a balancing. I don't think that they need 9 breaching charges. It's gotta be just something more for when they lose an operator, they can still open up.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That's the only thing I can think of if they're bringing that much for that secondary utility.
Yeah, I really gotta agree with you there.
The attacker's
I am
bomb
not a
diffuser
fan
has been
of the
dropped.
fact that they bring a lot of breach charges, as Ton's actually gonna frag onto Thermite. Well, there goes any chance to opening any walls, as Ton just going to basically get a massive frag for his team. And in one way or another, just almost guarantee the round win for his team, as when you can't open up any walls, it's going to be very difficult to take dining, especially as time is ticking down already, and there's the opportunity for a rush in no more. But I do agree with the fact that you talked about the breaching charges instead of the sledge. It doesn't make much sense, other than the fact that they may be just very fond of those operators, as Tom's actually just made a double kill on 2 more players of the Oklahoma State side. And now this round looks really good, as Ton might just try to go for the whole ace, as he's going to get one more, and Ton gets a final kill on Inception, who's got 27 health. If he can land this shot, he will have secured the ace for himself.
Yeah, not only that, before we even lost all those people inside of the actual map, unlike Thermite, the diffuser was also down, and Thermite was the only one on that side of the map. So not only do you lose your hard breach, you lost your diffuser on the opposite end of the map, where you can have a defender spawn peeking it rather easily. So this goes beyond just Ton, you know, finding the hard breach and doing well for his team. This goes to there's no one there for the refrag on the spawn peeker. There's no one there to get the diffuser, and there's no one there to ensure that OK State just doesn't devolve into a rush strat for their final round on attack.
Yeah, OK State pushing their
Horde Breacher. Don't know why they're not spawning together, especially in that situation. I mean, I get the fact that you might want the Thermite to just wait there, but if you're going to do that, you should just be waiting and spawn. Let the spawn peaks run out before you actually decide to move. Inception going to get swung on by Ton. Tun's going to take him out, and that is going to be a flawless round for UTSA as Ton will get an ace, and I believe he has a lot of kills right now, to say the least.
Yeah, Ton going off, going to connect with and allow UTSA to once again, second time for this set, UTSA having the 2-round advantage. Ton having 9 kills so far, 5 of those in the last round alone.
Yeah, the 5 kills from Ton that round really have to be a demoralizing factor for Oklahoma State. You just got aced by a one-man roam, basically, and were unable to do like any damage to him. He was almost completely fine in the end, but now the side swap could not come at a better time for Oklahoma State. Now they don't have to deal with Ton on Ash. The whole point of the Ash ban was probably to get Ton off Ash, but
Attackers need
Ton
to
is just
locate
taking
and defuse
Sophia,
as many bombs
a different
as they can.
fragger, and it's going to be interesting to see how this affects him, as I believe it won't do much, as Sophia's just as good as Slash is going to down his friend Mute, and that's not good at all. Now you have, oh, that's Jaeger, my bad. Jaeger. Jaeger with 20 health. So already not good. I'm guessing that Inception should just go out for a spawn peek here. Try to get that man advantage real quick, and if he dies, you lost 20 health and your roamer. But I mean, actually sounds pretty bad now that you think about it. But very
5 seconds
unfortunate
remaining.
that he just got shotgunned in the back.
Yeah, I think right now what we're
Attackers
seeing
must
is
locate and
OK
defuse the
State
bomb.
kind of panicking a little. You know, not a lot. You know, they're still a wonderful team. They're still a collegiate team. They're in the playoffs, but they're not all together for this map defense. They've gotten shaken up for the first half, and they're like, "This is our pick, guys. This is our map pick. What are we doing, being 2 rounds down right now?" And so we're gonna see Valkyrie lurking around Master Bedroom all by herself against potentially 3 attackers. All that utility going up against her, and she has a pea shooter in her hands. Hopefully she'll hit some heads and bring something a little bit more equal for her team, but she's going to rotate down on below already, and that's going to be what a little roam presence they had on the north side gone, traded out for the first floor roam instead.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, we're going to see Konoma all alone inside of the dining room. Easy Money going to walk. Nope, he will see him and take him out. There goes your Valkyrie off the board. Easy Money already getting up on the back of Aviator. And Konoma, raw moment for him as Ton will actually go down by Slash. And that is a huge frag. That's their top fragger off the board. That is the man that just aced you last round. That has to be a confidence booster for this OK State side, even though they have a Jaeger with 20 health.
I got, that's hilarious to me. Like just the image of Smoke popping his little head up. I just saw like those groundhogs that like go to the arcade and hit them with that little toy hammer. Like that's the image I got in my mind. That just brings a smile to my face. That does even up for OK State, and Jaeger is going to contest a little bit more, so he's not down out just yet. We are going to see, however, bullets coming out to take out that cam, as he's going to be waiting on his chance to peek this 90 hallway against Primo on the sledge.
Yeah, Inception doing a lot of damage. IQ putting him lower than he was. Oh man, there's a man on the floor. Primo going to be down a little bit of health. But will Inception peek? Yes, he will with a free fire, but it will not land. As another pre-fire coming, as Sledge going to drop below. I think that's on accident. Can't be sure. But he went out sneak up the main stairs as Fua takes out the Thermite. And Primo's going to go down to Inception, who has, on 20 health is doing pretty well right now for himself. That's going to be down to a Easy Money who's on 30 health. And Havoc going to take out Pruitt. And that's going to make it a 3v2.
A bomb has been located. Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Yeah, 20-second meta quickly approaching now. We do have IQ on basically 1 HP. Nomad gonna have to do the carrying, as she does have to do attackers are in her hand. The LMG ringing out from IQ, trying to keep their attention on her, and all the smoke's going out there. It's going to be Nomad pushing into Vault, and she's spotted out by the Kaid. Not going to be able to connect, however, as Kaid and Slash are going to finish it up now. Round 7 goes to Oklahoma State after the side switch, and even with that shotgun blast to the kneecaps of Jaeger, they're going to rise from the ashes.
Yeah, really great play there from OK State. Just not over peaking, not letting them run him over on site. Got down to the last seconds for the attackers, and they had to rush it, and it turned out to be problematic. As, you know, you have to run in with your gun down. Allowed the Kaid to swing into Vault, taking out the Nomad, and I think it was the Smoke to finish up the IQ, who was on low health. As we're going to have to see them forced to rotate to Trophy and Statuary, as they have won Aviator already.
Yeah, going to Trophy and Statuary now. This is the second
Defenders, protect your bombs
site
from being
on the
defused
board.
by attackers.
It's funny because Trophy's been coming up a lot lately, and it seems the defense always seems to have trouble holding. We saw it last night with a different set of teams. The defense on the first half of the map couldn't quite hold it. We saw it in this map, where Trophy was a little bit more difficult for the defense. Are we going to see this happen for Oklahoma State as well against this UTSA team?
Yeah, I think the team that you were talking about is Illinois State University, which a team I know pretty well. And Trophy is a very rough site to hold, as they have these doorways.
10 seconds left.
You have astronomy stairs, and of course you have master bedroom.
Activating camera.
Those 3 site
5
angles that
seconds
the
to go.
offense can take within most times basically for free, because they're very hard to
Attackers'
defend.
objective is to locate
Because of all
a
the
bomb
angles that
and
you get
defuse it.
exposed to while trying to defend them, it makes the Trophy attacks be fairly easy for teams to win.
Yeah,
and we're going
but
to see a split take here.
yeah, split take coming out, and not only that, instead of bringing the IQ, which can easily clear away those bandits, we're going to see Nyana instead coming out with easy money. No, not the worst thing in the world, but it's essentially just an air drone. You don't really have much
A bomb
potential
has
on
been
clearing
located.
utility. At the most, you're going to be able to scout something out and be like, hey, yo, we got this guy roaming inside a vault right now. That's really the most you're going to have. And already we're going to see the attackers trying to prove me wrong here, taking out the Smoke. That's the anti-utility already off the board, but we are going to see Jaeger wreaking havoc, taking out the anti-flank. So we have the anti-plant and the anti-flank taken off the board, and it's just already falling apart. We see utility taken off on both sides very quickly, and a minute hasn't even passed into the round.
Yeah, we're going to see the Jaeger rotating back. It's going to be playing inside a vault, very safe location for him to be playing. As we're going to see the attackers take over the Master as he's been thrown out, so he will have to rotate. As it looks like he will just rotate over to Bar. This leaves basically the Jaeger will be free on that side of the map. It looks like no one's going to be pushing him. As Easy Money will decide to try to nade this man from below. Nade going to come out, not going to hit its target at all, I don't think.
Now,
Yeah, I
no
don't think
damage
it's gonna
reflected with that frag, however, but the drone is going to see the dock plane inside his sight. Are we going to be able to see UTSA take advantage of it? We're going to see Chun moving forward, seeing the bandages, but instead of trying to off with a flag, finding the dock and the Nomad connecting as well as the charge goes off. Double kill for Primo off screen, and now it's just Jaeger alone trying to return back to sight against these 4 wonderful attackers, planting onto the Trophy. And yet again, the defenders are having trouble holding the Trophy. Is Trophy going to fall out of the meta, at least here in CR6?
Yeah, you see the Jaeger just being really far away from sight. Tun just kind of said, screw it, walks right into through bathroom into astronomy, and just takes out the entire team from behind, basically, along with the help of his teammates. As Ugly Primo is going to go down, now the Jaeger will have to go and attack the Ayana, who I think has left. And now he just has to take a 1v3 with 14 seconds left, already getting lit up. As Ton was sitting above the bomb. Very interesting spot for him to be. Good play from him, though, to kill the final defender to win himself and his team yet another round to take a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, so still having that 2-round man advantage. We're going to see that UTA has just been stringing it together. You know, that we saw initial trades out in the beginning round, and they string the second half of the first 6 rounds just to get that advantage, and now they're just running back with it because OK State can't do anything else but trade back and forth right now as far as rounds go. We're going to see Trophy Room come back up yet again, and this time Easy Money is going to bring the IQ, thankfully, for his teammates. You know, while they did win the round last time, it did cut it a little bit closer with the iron. It was a little bit more questionable. They are going to bring more of the solid utility, and no 6-pick out for them.
Yeah, with
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
going back
defused
to
by
trophy
attackers.
saturate, looks like they're going to go for a little bit different style of attack here, or defense here. Sorry, as you see, hopefully they're going to put more people on site, and their Jaeger will rotate back earlier and defend this bathroom rush. All right, you could call it a rush. The bathroom push a little bit better than they did the last round. As Homie Makes Drone will get shot out. It looks like the Valkyrie and the Jaeger will be playing
10 seconds remaining.
over by Aviator and Games Room this time once again.
5 seconds to insertion.
Actually, never mind. The Valkyrie and the Smoke will both
Attackers
rotate
are
back in the
moving
site.
out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
DJ, what do you think is going to happen this round?
I think we're going to see UTSA continue to hold it. We already saw them win with a very, very large man advantage, excuse me, against the OK State defense last round on this exact same side, and now they have the IQ, something even more adept at clearing utilities such as those bandit charges, as well as the Black Eye Valkyrie camp. We do have, of course, this Roman Reigns might be the wild card, and it might be something that can change it up, as we already see Havoc pick up his health, but he's gonna be lurking around, just trying to keep the attackers on edge. Ultimately, I think it will go to UTSA for this round. It depends on how OK State's going to play their other sides, because, again, I'm not sure what's going on with Trophy Room right now, but it doesn't seem to be going well for some of our defensive teams here in CR6.
Reloading!
Yeah, it looks like the Nomad will just be going for basically an entrapment style play here. As by the time
Defender
Kanoma
has
makes
left
it
the
over here,
designated
it's
staging
too
area.
late. Nobody is there. But if he goes for the rotate, he will
Swapping me!
be caught out by the Nomad, I believe, if she is still down there. He may have nomaded and left. He has nomaded and left. But we'll be still keeping a close eye on this Jaeger.
Cover your ears!
We do see this Valkyrie, though, lurking at the bottom of Astro Stairs. We saw a couple of attackers over near Red Stairs now, and Valkyrie's going to see what she's doing. Down below, clearing those bandit charges so Homie can see the wall, and now
Attackers have located a bomb.
A couple of C4s, I believe, have already gone off as well. Either that or some concussion marks. So yeah, not going to quite connect yet, however, but no one's off the clock yet. A minute closing in rapidly. No operator lost his life this round. This is going to be completely different from the last round we saw, as Sophia tries to bait out some sort of defenders to give her a response in Astro.
Target detected. Second floor.
Yes, the player that is playing inside of Astronomy has been thrown out for a ton.
Target.
He knows where the player was. He's going to swing and hit the free fires, and there goes Inception. That means Astronomy control is free for him, and the attackers now have control of Astronomy. And as you see, when they get control, it is going to be a absolute slaughter as UTSA walks in, takes out all 5 defenders in about 30 seconds or less, and they will win their 6th round of Villa.
And with that, Mr. Snail, we are already on match point. This is Oklahoma State's map. And the question now is if, not when, are we going to see map 3 for this matchup. UTSA, one more round to put it away. Oklahoma State needs 3 in a row just to get to overtime. I don't think we're going to see it here tonight, folks. You know, not UTSA, Oklahoma State putting up a valiant effort, but they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit longer if they want to contend against this even longer.
Yeah, I think that what I'm going to see here is we're going to see an Oklahoma State win on the Aviator site, but then they're going to have to go to their 3rd site of dining room, really, to have any chance dining room or living room, whichever one is their third site, to have any chance of really winning over against UTSA unless they're going to do a heavier commit in astronomy. Because that is basically what UTSA
Defenders,
is doing,
protect
just
your bombs
pushing
from
up
being defused
astronomy
by
over and
attackers.
over, clearing out behind Black Box and just running through them on the trophy site. But, of course, they do have to win the rest of the defenses here, so it starts with Aviator. We're going to see a similar strat, almost the exact same that they did the first round, except they know, yes, they will be the exact same strat they ran the first round, with a few operator or player changes. But how will UTSA attack this differently
10
than
seconds
they
to
did the
insertion.
first round? Because if they can figure out how to clear
5
the
seconds
players
remaining.
out of the site for OK State, they should have an easy plan, making
Attackers'
for a
objective is
sweet,
to
sweet
locate a
victory
bomb
to
and
move them
defuse
on
it.
to the round of 8.
Yeah, honestly, I think we're just going to see OK State do something very similar. They're going to put the intel in, try to get their own Valkyrie, trying to connect with it, but not being able to. That would have been a massive pick on trying to get the favorite back to OK State, but instead, they're going to know that the Valkyrie lurking down below. Not going to be able to find out that Sophia or Midnight very early. We're going to see a north side push. This is completely different. The hard reachers on the north side. The IQ might be down below as well, trying to clear those mana charges anyways, but no matter what, we are seeing something completely different than last time. Last time we saw more of a study-sided push where it was more of a compression between 2 points. Instead, we're seeing this where they're meticulously clearing everything, trying to find out this Valkyrie before anything else happens.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, how does that... Wow.
The
Somehow, Valkyrie loses that gunfight,
Bomb
and
located.
this already does not look good. And Fu is going to go down from the
I believe that's
from the window. Wow, Primo with a great nade, no ADS there to save the Kaede, and this already looks like a bad round for Oklahoma State. Down to 3 players already, have a health disadvantage, man disadvantage, and now a flash peeks out, gonna down. Nomad gonna be taken out, but then refrag by Ton. Now a B4, and Ton is still on the board for UTSA, which is not the best thing for Oklahoma State. We need aggressive play here from Inception. It's all on him now. All the hopes rest on him, and Ton gonna take out Inception, and that will be the map win for UTSA, and they will be going on to the next round.
Yeah, so UTSA clears both maps. First one was, I believe, 7-5, and we're going to see this one cleared out in 7-3. So with that, UTSA advances to round of 8. Oklahoma State, very, very strong job, but, you have to rework on what you're going to do with that defense. Defense in the second half of the round didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. But with that in mind, let's take a look at this game as a whole. What could these teams improve upon to come back swinging in the next season, regardless of if they were the winners, if they were the victors, or the ones who lost? What can change for the better here?
I think for the Oklahoma State side, they probably need to work on some of their, I would say their, defenses, and have, different, change up their strats a little bit, and also, just a little bit more aware of what is happening. It seemed like their communication was a little bit off tonight, which can be devastating for a team, especially in competitive play. And for UTSA, they looked really good tonight. They were doing fairly well in the entry fragging. I mean, Ton contributed a lot to that. And I mean, for them, really just when you have a player like Ton that can frag people on top of people day in and day out, and you just work around him, they could be a very, very good team.
Yep, and here we now have the fragger from UTSA to give us a little bit more insight on what happened in that match. We have Ton here to show how they got through these 2 maps rather quickly. Ton, what was going through your mind and your teammates' mind going into this match against Oklahoma State?
Well, honestly, for Theme Park, that's kind of our best map right now, I feel like. And I felt super confident going into Theme Park, not even just for myself, but for my team in general. I just knew that strat-wise, we were we had the upper hand, you know?
Yeah. Can you go a little bit more in depth with that upper hand? What is it? Just the that you believe you practiced more? You believe your strategies were more sound? The gunplay? What do you think was the defining characterization of UTSA that put you over the edge time?
I mean, other than like us being able to click their heads better than they could click ours, definitely scrimmages have been helping. We've been running tons of scrimmages lately. So just like, you know, getting up to date on what we do wrong in all of our strats and how we can like patch those holes basically. So like on theme park, there were like multiple times where up top they would like try and flip which direction they were pushing from. Like they'd go like cash balk, realize it wasn't applicable, and then switch to cafe. And like I feel like as the map went on, we just like got wiser and wiser to that. Eventually we were able to just catch on immediately, like when they were rotating, so we could have our team ready.
Yeah. How about you as an individual? How did it make you feel going into this, being the top, coming out of this actually, being the top fragger with that wonderful ace that we saw coming out from you playing as that Jaeger?
I'm just trying to, you know, stay on top of the kill leaderboards for the CR6 Summer League right now. I mean, I knew I could put in work. I've dropped 25 twice before. Only got 20 on the first map, though. It's whatever.
Snail, anything you want to ask the top fragger of UTSA? Ton. As we kind of wrap up this interview to get set up for the next stream, anything on your mind?
I mean, as you were the top fragger on UTSA, what did you think about Slash pulling out the Blackbeard? I think.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. That pissed me off a little bit. Like that was like the one thing that was like able to get me to push back from a lot of roams. Like on theme park especially, they use BB to entry a lot, and it got me good.
I see. Any last words before we end this interview?
No last words. We're just better.
All right.
Adios.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ton from UTSA, the top fragger on their team. Those were his words after the match. We hope you all stick around as we have Cal playing South Dakota State University, or San Diego State University, I believe.
South Dakota.
Nope,
you were
South
right the
Dakota.
first time, mate.
South Dakota State University coming up soon.
You can't fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. Now you wanna see me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the goal. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it up, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. I'm going into oblivion. Into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. I'm going in.